Am I the asshole for making a room just for me in my house and not allowing anyone else to use it?
I, F38, and my husband, 39M, and kids, 9M, F6, moved at around the beginning of summer. The house is mostly furnished, but still has a good amount of space that will mostly go unused.
I began to start decorating a room that we have no plans to use.
Just small stuff, nothing too crazy.
I just wanted to use the area to indulge in my hobbies. When my husband found out, he was fucking livid because I didn't get permission to do that. Which is weird ASF, because I'm not a child. He figured out what I was doing as I was still setting the room up, but the furniture I was using was stuff he was planning to throw away anyways. I'm talking perfectly fine couches, TVs, etc. because he wanted something new. I was just putting it to good use, so I'm not understanding why he's upset.
This happened 3 days ago, and now he's being extremely immature by being intentionally distant.
Am I the asshole? Info.
His reaction is definitely outrageous and squarely in asshole territory, but I'm confused by your behavior too.
Do you normally not talk to each other and build your life and house together? Do you normally just operate independently of each other and hope it works out? Esh. You sure as hell don't need his permission, but it's a family home. There should have been some sort of discussion between the both of you. You are talking about a whole room. What if he was the asshole and had plans for that room but got to it before you did?
Wouldn't you be disappointed he didn't discuss it with you first?
You are the asshole. You made a unilateral decision about a room in your shared house and not only didn't consult him on it, but didn't even bother to tell him about it. And now you call him immature for not talking to you when this is all because you didn't talk to him. He shouldn't have used the word permission, but I'm interpreting that as him meaning it's a joint decision. If the genders were reversed here and Op had created a man cave without consultation, it'd be a sea of you or the assholes. Info. Does your husband get a room to himself with no one else allowed to use it?
Everyone sucks here, and you presented your story in a way to make it seem like he was annoyed you decorated a room. The actual issue is that you without any conversation decided he's not allowed to use one of the rooms in the house he co-owns. You decided to just decorate it and then hope he wouldn't mind it's only for your use. His use of permission and the silent treatment isn't really much better. You have children. Why can't you both act like adults and have a conversation?
Info. Is the thing you say in your title happening? Your title says the room is just for you and you are not allowing anyone else to use it, but all you describe is decorating. So is his reaction to furniture or to being told you've decided on your own he's not allowed to use one of the rooms in the house he co-owns? Am I the asshole refusing to pay for group pizza? Throw away because my friends use Reddit.
I, 26M, met up with some friends, 26/25M, at Host's, 24M, home. When we arrived, we found that Host had ordered us all pizza. There were 4 in total. They were all vegan pizzas, which isn't strange because Host is vegan. None of us minded that much, but we would have ordered something else if given the choice. We aren't vegan. At the end of the night, Host asked us to pay for the pizzas and he said he didn't have any because he wasn't hungry and insisted that we split it without him.
I thought it was a bit weird, but at the time we all agreed and left.
However, at the drive home we all agreed that this was fucked up and decided we aren't going to pay because we didn't order, didn't enjoy it, and to be honest wasn't even that hungry.
There was no discussion beforehand on ordering food. Host totally pulled this on us out of nowhere.
When we told Host this, he called us all assholes and now won't talk to me. The others don't think this is worth losing a friend over, but I'm honestly kind of sick of this guy. He pulls this shit all the time. Not the asshole. You never asked for pizza, and if you did, you would have gotten your choice. To ask you to pay for something that he ordered to his home and expecting his guests to pay is extremely tacky and an a-hole move. And to pay for all of it yet? What happened to any leftovers? And you say this regular thing for this person?
This is not a friend I would want to keep in my inner circle. He is a mooch user. I would tell the others they can pay for the pizzas if they want to, but you are not paying anything. You are willing to risk the friendship of that person. Not the asshole. He ordered you food you didn't ask for and offered it to you.
That's his obligation.
If he wanted money, he should have asked at minimum before he offered you any. And from the sound of it, he's not a good friend, at least to you. He wanted you to fund his pizza.
Send him a bill for a barbecue you threw last year that you didn't invite him to.
Not the asshole. Sounds like he is trying to convert you. Annoying if it were at his expense, offensive that he wants it to be at your expense. Not the asshole you didn't ask for it and it wasn't very considerate of the host to not get something you all would enjoy. I'm vegetarian myself and I always remember to be considerate that other people may not like my vegetarian food. He's the not the asshole. What sort of asshole orders food for a gathering they are hosting and then asks his guests to pay for it? This level of entitlement is why so many people find a large number of vegans insufferable. These not worth losing friends over situations are always so puzzling because they go both ways. He is willing to continue the rift, too, but it's still somehow all on you guys. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for making my boyfriend wear a tie to a black tie event? My boyfriend and I attended my friend's wedding last weekend where dress code was black tie. I let him know a couple weeks in advance and he expressed annoyance stating, "I never wear ties. I hate wearing ties." And I told him I was very honored to be invited to this wedding as she is someone I care for and respect, and I would be embarrassed if he broke the dress code. Fast forward to the wedding, he wears the tie to the ceremony and is angry the entire time. Doesn't speak to me and has a terrible look on his face. I cried after the ceremony because I was upset he was acting this way. He said, "You care about this wedding than you do my feelings." We talked it out, had a good time at the reception. However, I feel like this week he is still sour about it. It's been a week today and I teased him about how the pictures would have turned out better if he had been in dress code. Apparently that was unacceptable because now he is just as upset as he was at the wedding. I genuinely can't wrap my head around how he can be this upset about a tie. Am I the asshole? Edit. Thank you for all your responses. For context, we have been together for almost 3 years, 30F, 34M, and this was an isolated event. He really is a good person, very kind, generous, always goes out of his way to make sure I'm happy and taken care of, etc. Which was why I was so taken aback by the whole situation. I wanted to come here to gain some perspective regarding this particular incident. Thank you all for giving me a little peace of mind. It's a bow tie, not a body disfiguring surgery. Is he always this childish? Not the asshole. Edit. Replaced necktie with bow tie. INFO. Did he have a choice to not attend the wedding? Edit. Not the asshole. If he didn't want to wear the tie, he didn't have to go to the wedding. He has no right to complain. Not the asshole. If your boyfriend was so adamant about not wearing a tie, he could have opted to skip the whole event. There are dress codes for a reason. The fact that he agreed to go and then proceeded to pout the entire time is ridiculous. It shows what kind of person he is if he doesn't get his way. Not the asshole, your boyfriend is an idiot and a fool. I can't imagine acting pissed and cold towards my girlfriend over a tie. He is acting like he had to wear a tutu or something. WTF. I wouldn't be surprised if he's done this before. Info, is your boyfriend 5? Not the asshole. He's being a big sulky baby ruining your time because he can't suck it up and dress appropriately for a few hours. Who hurt him? In any case, it's clear when you disagree with him, he's going to make damn sure you're miserable. Am I the asshole for refusing to borrow money from my husband anymore? Me, 36 female, and my husband, 37 male, went to the beach last weekend and my wallet disappeared. I don't know if it was stolen or if I dropped it, but either way, it disappeared with all of my credit cards, ID, etc. We live in Japan, so I still had some money charged to my phone which I used throughout the week to go get my residency card replaced. I have to take a train and bus, which costs money, and I have been living on 100 yen cup noodles. When I went to get my number card replaced, a type of social security card here in Japan, I was told it costs money, so I wanted to go later when I got my cash card or a credit card back and I could do so on my own money. But when I told my husband this, he insisted I do it immediately and said he would borrow me the money to do so. I told him I could just wait and do it later when I had access to my money again, but he came to meet me and borrowed me 10,000 yen that he withdrew from a nearby ATM. I took the money, thanked him, and assured him I would return it as soon as possible. Fast forward and my cash card arrived and 2 of my credit cards. We went out for lunch today and he went to pay, so I asked him how much I owed him for my half.
He tells me not to worry, because he is tallying it up in the entry space on our line chat. He puts the money there like, 10,000 plus 600 plus 250 plus 1500, without sending it to keep a tally. I don't mind that he is keeping the tally, but when I asked about the 250, he says it's for the ATM charge for the 10,000 yen he borrowed me. I don't mind paying that and I understand that it is expensive, but I was very surprised he was counting that closely and told him, I would never think of charging someone for the ATM fee to borrow money. I insisted they borrow. By the way, I have never borrowed money from him before, and this is after years of me paying for things for the both of us and his half of meals and him saying he will pay me back later, and ultimately buying me a beer or something here and there and saying, just take 300 yen off of what I owe you. He does acknowledge this debt and he pays it back in this way, though. I have never considered factoring tax into the things I pay for him or anything, and I cannot imagine a relationship where I would do something like that.
Anyway, when I was surprised, I asked like, you're actually charging me that? And he got upset, because ATMs are expensive. It's not about you, it's about them. So I said that of course I will pay him, but I think if I ever needed to borrow money again I wouldn't ask him. He got angry at me and stormed off, leaving me in the street by myself. Am I the asshole here?
Edit. Thanks for many comments and very insightful opinions.
Up until my husband, I had never been in a relationship longer than a year and I had no idea that this dynamic was unusual in a relationship like ours. I suggested the idea of a joint bank account that we put some money into each month for our home and life into, and he seemed very open to the idea. It's not combining our full finances, as seems to be normal from the comments, but I hope this will be a very good step in the right direction.
Thank you for all of your very helpful advice.
Not the asshole.
Why would you ever be an asshole for not wanting to borrow money from anyone?
Not the asshole.
But the idea of being in a marriage where one spouse has to borrow money from the other seems completely bananas to me.
I'm more concerned that you're living on cup noodles while you don't have a card. Is your husband having full meals while you eat these? This doesn't sound like a healthy way to manage money in a marriage. Is this your boyfriend or husband? Your marriage sounds transactional. Rethink your relationship. Flushed, exploding head, exploding head, exploding head, exploding head. Oh my god, this is not a marriage. What in the hell, who borrows money from their spouse? This is the most fucked up shit I have ever heard. Why are you with somebody who tallies money and makes you borrow it and pay it back? That is not a marriage, that is not a relationship. Not the asshole, but he got angry at me and stormed off, leaving me in the street by myself. Have some self-respect, please. Never come back to a man who left you in the street by yourself, never.